Hey guys, HideUpTen here. Just a quick little tidbit before this video comes up. This video was recorded like 6 years ago. Um, but I had seen it recently because it was on HideUpTen 2, which is mainly just a stream re-upload thing. But I haven't streamed, so I haven't been uploading to it. But yeah, this is a video from about 7 years ago. Um, I went to Manchester, New Hampshire, to Manchester or Portsmouth, one of the two, to tour a mansion, a colonial era mansion, the Wentworth Coolidge Mansion, because I have a direct blood relative of Governor Benning Wentworth, who was one of the first colonial governors of New Hampshire, from a long line of merchants. They ended up governing the state of New Hampshire. Wentworth is responsible for, I think it was 193 land grants that are now small towns and cities in New Hampshire. So that's what this video is. I'm gonna try to re-edit it a little bit to get it to be more my style, but I want to preface by saying this is a 6 years ago high def Dan, so please bear with me on what this video was, but I hope you enjoy. On everybody, guess what? I just had to start vlogs again after I got I did a vote on YouTube, and it was whether or not I do just vlogs, just streams, or both, and 75% of the votes were for both. So guess what? This is the vlog. I'm going to Manchester today, because if you guys didn't, I don't think I've ever mentioned it on the vlog. If you guys go on Google and you look up the name Bennings Wentworth, and I'll put it down here after I edit, Benning Wentworth, it'll come up as the first colonial royal governor of New Hampshire. That actually happens to be a distant relative of mine, and his mansion is now a museum in Manchester, and I'm going to go check it out with a friend. So I'll see you there. That's the mansion. Look how big it is. I love it. It's right on the water. That's pretty cool. We're going to have a tour. I don't know if they're going to allow filming, but we're going to have a tour of it. There it is.
To the buildings of Harvard than anyone in his class.
I heard he was like a big partier.
Yeah. And after he graduated from Harvard, he started a lumber business. It was going along well until a major customer in Spain did not pay his bill. So consequently, he had to declare bankruptcy. And one of his creditors was told that the only way he would ever recoup his losses was if Benning became governor. And that proved to be true because he established more than 50 towns, and each time he did that, he kept 500 prime timber acres for himself. So he ended up being just fine. As governor, he was living in his sister's house, which is now called Warner House downtown, and he wanted it to become the governor's mansion. And the assembly would only come up with 2,000 pounds, and she wanted 9. So in total frustration, in 1753, he and his wife moved down here to live with their son. And I'll talk about the structures in just a second. The wife died in 1753, and then the son died in 1759. So Benning inherited this property, and there were 110 acres here, but it's changed over the years. But let me just show you. If you look at the structures, the one on the left, right there, this section, can you see? That was the first structure here, and it was a warehouse.
Oh.
And then they moved this one onto it and connected it with this piece. So you can see from there over.
Yeah, I see.
And that's what was here when Benning moved in with his son. After his son died, Benning had a a carpenter by the name of Neil, and he stayed 5 years and added all the other structures.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You'd never be able to. You wouldn't be able to tell.
No. And there are, well, we've gotten up to 42 rooms in the house. You won't go into all of them or see all of them. But
No.
anyway, just for information. The little rooms that stick out were called off-shot rooms, and apparently they were very popular in England at the time. And then Benning received the first lilacs to come into this country from England.
Oh, wow.
And we had them, and they were enormous. And then about 3 years ago, we had a disease called Amaryllia, which is a fungus that goes through the soil, and it's really raised havoc with them. But anyway, the main road went right down along by the water. So the main entrance is on the other side of the house. Okay. When Benning was 64, he married his 23-year-old housekeeper, Martha Hilton, and that created quite a stir.
I read about that.
Okay. And toward the end of his life, his cousin Michael moved in. And when Benning died, Michael very quickly married his wife Martha. And then they had a daughter, which was Martha. He was a real party person. And he died in a hotel in 1797 in New York. The two Marthas lived here until 1806, when the daughter wanted to move to England. So then they put the furnishings up for auction and finally sold the house to the Cushing family, and they farmed it. And I think they had a rough time financially, but they were the first people to give tours of the house. And so they farmed it for a number of years. Their nephew farmed it, William Israel. And then it was in 1886, it was sold to John Templeman Coolidge. He was no relation to Calvin Coolidge, but he was very much involved in the arts. He had studied art in Paris. He was on the board of trustees in Boston of the Museum of Fine Arts, and he had established the school there. So he had a lot of extra money, and this became their summer home. And just to show you, here's an earlier picture of the property, and you see there were other structures here too that have been changed. And if you looked diagonally, went right straight through, you would see this. This was the stable until the Coolidges were here, and then they converted it to a guest ring, and then put those structures up there.
Oh,
That, you know,
pretty cool.
yeah. And see, there's some of the lilacs and additional structures that are no longer here. The Coolidges offered the property to the state in 1954, and the state took it. And there's Martha, the second wife. And then if you look, see where those people are? There's some, looks like weeds.
Yeah.
Okay, that was the Coolidge's pool. And what they did is they put fresh water in it and added salt.
Oh, made it like a saltwater.
So it's been a bit since the last clip, which I'm pretty sure was the one where I had to pull over so Matt could pee in the woods. It's actually the next day, 7:30 in the morning. Now, if you guys are wondering why I was only able to film the outside of the mansion, it's probably going to be a 4 or 5 minute clip, just listening to them talking. They don't allow photography inside the mansion. And me being related to Governor Wentworth made no difference. I couldn't film inside the mansion or whatever. I didn't ask if I could film due to my relation, because they sounded like they didn't really believe me. But he is on my family tree. When I told them, they were kind of like, "Oh wow, cool." Yeah, they didn't believe me, which, I mean, it's not a huge deal that I'm related to Governor Wentworth, but I'll tell you right now, that mansion was incredible. It was incredible on the inside. It was built in 1750, and it's still standing. And a lot of the stuff from it is still there, original stuff. And it's so weird just to think the hallways were narrower than my car, which is a Ford Fusion. If you guys don't know what my car is, some of them were narrower than my car. Some of the ceilings came down really far, as like I had to duck going upstairs, and I was taller than some of the rooms. It's just weird to think how much shorter people were back then, and it's just weird. But it's an incredible place. I'm so glad I went there, and I got to set foot in somewhere that a distant relative of mine once walked, and I got to be on the property that he once owned, which is really cool. I got to be in a building that's technically older than the United States of America. That's older than the Declaration of Independence. That was amazing. There were a whole bunch of buildings that obviously weren't there anymore. I'm pretty sure you guys heard that on when the tour guide was talking. But it was really cool. We saw an original painting, full size, like 7-foot tall painting of Governor Wentworth inside the mansion. It was really cool. There were like old card tables from that era that like folded open and turned into a card table, and you wouldn't think it was a card table. It just looked like an end table. There was the fireplaces, like they're really small. The fireplaces are like a foot deep into the wall, not even that much. And then you have like their kitchen, and they had a smoker, a soup kitchen, and a normal kitchen, all in the same house. And it was incredible. I wish I could have filmed inside, but I wasn't able to. So that's this vlog. I hope you guys liked it. I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, so I know it's not the kind of content you're used to seeing on my channel, but it was something I wanted just to have public again, because it's just sitting there private on High Def Tan 2, and some people could find it interesting. I mean, I really sucked at filming vlogs 6 years ago, so you have to bear with what I was able to record. I don't know what all the moving around with the camera was when they were talking about the mansion. I don't know I don't know what I was doing. Maybe sticking the camera in like a hoodie pocket or something to try to angle it to record. I don't know what the hell I was doing, but you know, that was horrible. But yeah, I just saw this video on High Def Tan 2 because I was like, that's right, I have other channels. And I went to look through it. I saw this one. I was like, that could be a main channel vlog. So I did my best to make it a vlog in my style. You know, add in music, little tips and little things. What am I trying to say? Titles, little asterisks with things. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If this video is even enjoyable. I haven't uploaded in 3 weeks. I haven't uploaded in a month. I'm trying to cut back on cigar reviews instead of doing like one a week, because it's a lot of nicotine, a lot of tar, a lot of smoke to get into the system. So taking it easy on that for right now. And here's a vlog. And yeah, I'm gonna try starting vlogs up more, because that was the main focus for this channel anyways. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Please check the description for links to my Twitter, my Twitch, my Patreon, my Twitter, my Twitch, my Instagram, Discord, and maybe a general donation link. Yeah, I'm gonna try getting back into streaming again on Twitch, and I'll see you over there. Thank you guys for watching. Goodbye.